Welcome back to That Dad Guy, and welcome back to Stamp vs. Stamp. This is my monthly collaboration with Snail Mail with Smokey. If you're not subscribed to his channel, you best go off after watching this video. Subscribe to him, like, leave positive comments, and share with other people, both his channel and mine. If you're finding mine for the first time, do the exact same thing. Like, subscribe, leave positive comments, and share with other people. Now, in these videos, every month we do some sort of quirky little challenge, and it's all about stamps, so it's stamp versus stamp. This month is no exception. We've decided what we're going to do is we're going to find 10 stamps that we think best describe or represent each other. Then we're going to put them in the mail and mail them to each other, and then we will figure out when we receive them what they all mean. Hope you like the challenge, and if you have any suggestions for future months, make sure you leave them in the comments. All right, well, I'm going to pick my 10 stamps, which I have done already, actually, and I'm going to put them in the mail. The last thing I need to do for you, Smokey, is put this letter in the mailbox and send it to you, and hopefully you can pull it out of your mailbox on the other end. Here we go. I've got this envelope, which is missing a couple stamps, I guess. It didn't make it all the way through in the post from Smokey. I gotta open it up and find out what's inside. So I'll use my little trusty letter opener here. So you're seeing my exact reaction when I see it for the first time. We'll find out what stamps Smokey has picked out for me. Oh, there's a letter in here too. All right, what's it say? I hope this letter finds you and your family well. It has. Enclosed are my 10 stamps for the next stamp versus stamp. While we're here. All right. Oh, he's done it up. Okay, let's start with the first one. It is lot M1. These may not be accurate, but it says lot M1610. For the Netherlands, so Scott number 8456. You can see the stamp here. It is a stamp depicting an envelope, a piece of mail. Can it be because I'm a mailman? Can it be because I'm a post crosser? Can it be just because we collect stamps? That's why I'm guessing he picked it for me. That this stamp in particular has to do with my love of all things snail mail. That's my guess.
All right, Rob. The first stamp that I sent you was this stamp. This is from the Netherlands. It is Scott number 845B. It was issued in 1994, and the title is Letter Writing Campaign. This one shouldn't have been too difficult. The reason I chose this stamp for you is a couple reasons. One, because of your profession as a letter carrier, and two, because of your love of post crossing and pen pals and all things mail related. I thought this was a really great stamp to represent all those aspects of your life.
Stamp number 2 is this one. It's very cute. It comes from Switzerland. It's Scott number B350. Can you see it here? It is a mama and all her other little hedgehogs. It's gotta be for Polo, right? Hedgehog is the kind of the mascot of this channel because of my pet hedgehog, Polo. Yeah, who celebrated a birthday just recently. He's 3 years old now. So happy birthday to Polo. Let's see if I got it right.
The next stamp I sent you was this stamp. This is from Switzerland. It's Scott number B350. And it features a West European hedgehog. Now, this should not have been a stretch at all. I chose this stamp, of course, because of Polo. That Dad Guy and Polo are synonymous with each other. I would dare say, just like yourself has become a YouTube star, Polo has also become his own YouTube star. And there are many people like me who tune in to see what Polo has been up to lately. So because of your connection with Polo, I've chosen this hedgehog stamp for you.
The next stamp he's got for me comes from Holland. It looks like it is a teacher with a classroom of students. It's Scott number 57. Now, one of the things in this classroom on the front desk is a globe. So geography, history, I'm guessing it is the education, is learning more about history and all the things that got us to this point, making sure we don't make the same mistakes and being doomed to repeat it. Is that kind of the saying? So I think that's why he's picked this stamp, is that my love for history is and learning and all that aspect.
All right, well, this one might have been a little bit tricky. This is from All in the Islands. It's Scott number 57, issued in 1989. And it features the 350th anniversary of school education. So you might be saying, what does that have to do with you? Well, to me, and I know to so many other people who tune in to watch all of your videos, Rob, you are a teacher. Whether or not that was ever your intention, you are. You teach so many people about philately, about post-crossing, about Moncton and all of Canada where you live and travel, all the adventures that you take. Each one of your videos is a lesson. And those of us who are fortunate enough to watch you, we have become your pupils. So I thought this stamp featuring a teacher and his students was very appropriate for what you do almost every day in your YouTube channel.
Ooh, the next one. It's a U.S. stamp, Scott number 1474, collecting stamps. This 8-cent stamp with the magnifying glass. I mean, it's got to be for my love of stamp collecting, right? That I've inherited from my father. I think it's got to be that obvious, is that I collect stamps, so he's got a postage stamp about collecting stamps.
All right, Rob, next up is this stamp. This is Scott number 1474 from the United States, and it is called Stamp Collecting Issue. I chose this stamp, of course, because of your love of philately and because you do such a great job of promoting this wonderful hobby. Whether it's taking us with you to stamp auctions, to stamp fairs, showing us all the stamps that are in your collection, stamps that you've newly acquired, stamps that's been sent to you from other collectors from around the world. You really are a great spokesman for the hobby of philately. I know that it is something that is near and dear to you. I know that it's a connection that you share with your father. And so for all of those reasons, I've chosen this stamp. I hope you enjoy it.
Next one comes from Mexico. Scott number 1113. You can see this cow, but the cow is subdivided into sections. I mean, I like to barbecue. I like to eat. There's no denying the fact that I enjoy food, and Smokey knows this. We've talked about barbecue recipes, and last time I did a brisket. He hadn't done one yet, so he asked me how I did it. So yeah, I think this is my love of food. I'm not a vegetarian, so yes, I do eat meat. I apologize to those of you that might be offended by that, but such is the case here. So this nice stamp from Mexico, I believe, was given to me because of my love of food.
Well, up next we have this stamp from Mexico. It's Scott number 1113. And if you're wondering why I chose this stamp for you, Rob, let me tell you the name of the stamp. It's called Meat Cuts Marked on a Steer. So if you haven't figured it out yet, I chose this steak because I know that you are a huge foodie. Whether it's beef like is represented on this stamp, whether it's something sweet or other savory items, I know that you have a love of food, which is something that I also share. And you demonstrate that on your channel by showing us how you smoke brisket, how you make different things. And so it's really a different side of you that we get to see apart from the philately and the post-crossing. And it's a very interesting side. And so for that reason, I've chosen this stamp that represents you as a foodie.
Next stamp is this really cool triangle stamp. It's a U.S. stamp, Scott number 4136. It depicts the settlement of Jamestown. So these are the English ships coming over to settle in the New World. Why is he giving it to me? Well, one, I love shape stamps. So a normal rectangle, a square stamp, kind of boring. I like if there's circles or if the image breaks out of the stamp barrier. So I think maybe because of that. Also, it might have something to do with my love of history. It might be because of my English background. My father comes from England. So there's a variety of things that could be there. I don't think it's anything in particular to do with the ships. But I'm going to go with that. The shape stamps, I love my English background and the history behind it.
Here we have U.S. stamp Scott number 4136, issued in 2007. Now, if you haven't figured out why I sent this one to you, it's because this celebrates the 400th anniversary of the founding of Jamestown. I sent this stamp to you because you are a history buff. And so of all the stamps in my collection that have something to do with history, and well, don't they all kind of have to do with history? But that's a whole other conversation. I chose this stamp because I know that you have a great love for history. I know that that you are a student of history, and so I thought this would be a fitting stamp to send you as it commemorates the 400th anniversary of the founding of Jamestown, and helped where I live become where I live, the United States of America.
And it is from Germany, Scott number 1356. Here you can see 4 arms interlocked together. All different colors, all different shades. Is it because I want people just to get along? It's peace. It doesn't matter who we are or what color we are or what background we are, what religion we are. There's no reason why we all can't get along. For whatever reason, we don't. And it's sad that the things that are going on in the world today are, they've always been going on. And it's over silly things too. So I think he sent this because he knows that I want to treat everybody the same, and I hopefully want everybody to treat me the same too. So we're going to find out.
Next up is this stamp from Germany, Scott number 1356, issued in 1981. It is titled Arms of Different Races Forming a Square. So if you wondered, Rob, why I chose this stamp for you, let me tell you. And this is a bit of a serious choice for me. And I chose this stamp because, like the image on this stamp, I see you as a uniter of people. We live in a world that is so polarized now, where everyone has different opinions about everything. And it seems like oftentimes the majority of things that we watch or listen to are trying to tear us apart instead of bring us together. That's one thing that I really admire about you, that I respect about you, is that in everything that you do, you're always bringing people together. You are a uniter of people, whether it's through sharing events in your family, in your life, your career, your hobbies. You're always inviting and engaging people to come together around one common thing. And so much like this stamp, where people who are different, who appear different, yet they come together to form something wonderful. And that's what you do, my friend. You are a uniter of people, and so that's why I've chosen this stamp for you.
And it's this one. Comes from Thailand. Scott number 2946. I mean, this is massive. Is it as big as Canada's whale stamp? It might just be. Now, what do we have depicted on there? I'm not sure. We have 6 gentlemen that, this is going to be the one that throw, what's it say at the bottom? It says the 70th anniversary celebration of His Majesty's accession to the throne. Okay, so this is Thailand's emperor? What is it in Thailand? I don't know. We're going to assume it's king. why do they have it for me? Why? One, it's a really cool, massive stamp. If it's about royalty, yes, I have a fondness for the British royal family. I don't know much about the Thai royal family. When I look at all the images on it, nothing jumps out as far as... You might have stumped me on this one. I think it's got to be royalty. I talk about Queen Elizabeth or King Charles III. I do like the long stamp, though. It is one that is not in my father's collection. I can guarantee you that. But we've already had a stamp about stamp collector. Thinking about stamp collecting. I'm going to go with this because it's royalty. My fondness for the royal family.
All right, don't let your eyes deceive you, Rob. This is not a souvenir sheet. This is not a mini sheet. This is one stamp. This is from Thailand, Scott number 2946, issued in 2017. And so why have I sent you this stamp? Have you figured it out? Well, let me tell you. I know that you like different, strange, and unusual stamps, whether in color or shape or subject matter. And so this is definitely a different stamp. At the time that this stamp was issued in 2017, it was the longest stamp ever issued. It is 170 millimeters long, and so that made it the longest postage stamp ever issued. Now, it has recently taken a back seat to the number 2 spot, but nonetheless, it's a very impressive stamp. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it is a great addition to your stamps that are just a little bit different than all the rest.
The next one comes from Japan. It is Scott number 1107. It's showing some beautiful traditional outfits that these individuals are wearing, and I'm guessing he selected this particular stamp for me because right at the top of my bucket list is to visit Japan one day. Just as in Smokey's top of his list is to go to England. Mine is to go to Japan. Haven't been able to make it financially work for my wife and I to go there yet. We will see. I'm guaranteed that we're going to get there one day. So I guess he picked this particular stamp for my bucket list of one day getting to visit Japan.
Next, we have this stamp. This is from Japan. It's Scott number 1107. Was issued in 1972. Now, if there was one stamp that I wanted to send you, this was it. I wanted to send you a stamp from Japan that represented the Japanese culture. And I'm sure you know the reason because I picked it for you. The reason is because, like Great Britain is on my bucket list, I know Japan is on yours. I know that you really appreciate the culture and the history of Japan and that you are eager to visit one day, and I hope you get to do it very soon. So because, like me, you are a dreamer and you dream of far-off places and encountering different cultures and people, I'm sending you that dream on a postage stamp with this stamp from Japan. I hope you enjoy.
Right. I wonder how I'm doing so far. Well, the next is this stamp. It is from the United Kingdom. It is a picture of Doctor Who's TARDIS. There is no Scott number on the back, so I'm not quite sure what exact Scott number it is. It is tiny. It is the Doctor Who's TARDIS. If you don't know what Doctor Who is, it's like one of the longest running science fiction television shows. It's amazing. You guys should be watching, especially the new season. They had a couple down years with The Last Doctor, and I don't blame it on the actors in that one. I think the writing was just off in it. And so they've reinvented it again, and it is really good this season. So that's why he's given me the TARDIS and Doctor Who. He also loves Doctor Who. If you watch his videos in the background in his office, he has a TARDIS in a couple different places, a couple different items of Doctor Who. I don't have any of that in my office. But believe me, I still like the show. So That's why he picked it, I think.
Well, I know that we've had some lighthearted picks. We've had some picks that were a bit more serious. But for the last stamp, I wanted to send you this stamp. This is from Great Britain. It shows the TARDIS from Doctor Who. And the reason that I chose it is not just because you are a huge sci-fi fan, whether it's Doctor Who or Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or whatever it may be, but I chose this stamp because whenever I think of Doctor Who, I always think about you, Rob. Until I found your channel and started watching your videos, I had never seen an episode of Doctor Who. And so through your enthusiasm for the show, it inspired me to watch it. And I have enjoyed every single hour, and there have been a lot of them, that I have sat in front of my television and watched episode after episode after episode of this beloved British TV series. So I will always think about you and be thankful that you guided me to be a fan and lover of the show. And I hope you enjoyed this stamp. And just like the Doctor, I hope you keep reaching for the stars, my friend.
Well, Smokey, I've just watched your responses to why you pick things, and you got me. You got me. Yeah, I guess I got some of them right, but I wasn't expecting your take on why you pick things. The educator, the bringing people together. Yeah, it moved me. Still moves me, I guess, because it's still fresh. Definitely shows how we do things differently when we put this challenge out to each other. You can see my responses. Maybe as an educator, I kind of talk about why I think you would like it, and maybe the history behind that particular stamp that I picked. But when you picked the stamp for me, you described qualities that you saw in me, maybe that I don't see in myself, and about this channel, and how it has evolved and how it continues to evolve. And yeah, it was special. Thank you. I appreciate the heartfelt comments. I wasn't expecting it, and I don't know if you guys were expecting. If you've seen Smokey and watched all his channels and all his episodes, he puts a lot of his heart on his shoulder when he does things. He also is an educator, and he knows what to say at the right time, I guess. I'm glad, I can tell you this, I'm glad I didn't open this envelope when I first received it. That I didn't get to have a sneak peek and think about why you picked each stamp. I'm also glad that when you sent me your clips, I didn't watch them. I filmed this after, and only this section you're watching right now after the stamps had I seen your clips, because I wanted to know whether I guessed correctly or incorrectly, whether at the end I could say I got them all right, or I got most of them right, or boy was I off. I wanted to be able to say that. And instead, I got to hear your heartfelt messages about each stamp and how you see me. It's kind of hard. When you watch someone on YouTube, you kind of get invested in their lives, depending on how much information they give. Even though we've never met, you know, we've been able to video chat, Smokey, and it's been a great way to connect that way, to get a little bit more of an understanding of who we both are. It's hard when you watch somebody and just watch their videos to figure out who exactly are they. I mean, we all have different aspects of our lives, and there's aspects we don't share on YouTube. We don't make public to everyone, and that's all right. And I think that we need to keep some of those mysteries out there. But you did a great job of picking stamps that that show, you know, a bit about me, and that you know a little bit of who I am. I hope I did the same thing. I know I didn't do it as great a justice in delving into your inner psyche and things like that, and heaping the praise. Maybe that's just not the way I am normally, but I do want you to know that I do appreciate you and joining me on all these videos, and everyone else who's out there that watches these videos. I appreciate it so much that you guys even want to take the time to do it. I put up a poll yesterday. YouTube asked me to put up a poll, so I did. And it's interesting to see why you guys watch the channels, whether it's for a specific topic I'm doing, or whether it's just because you want to see what I'm doing. So I appreciate the people that are responding to that poll. All right, well, this has been Stamp versus Stamp. It has been a great one. It hasn't been as quirky as some of the ones we've done in the past, but individually, this might be one of my favorites just because I got a chance to hear a little bit from Smokey how he sees me. So that's been great. So hopefully you guys now, when you finish watching this one, leave your comment, leave your suggestions of what you might like to see in future Stamp versus Stamp episodes, and make sure you go over to Smokey's channel, like, subscribe, do all those fun things, and leave some comments for him as well. All right, you guys, have a magical week. What, Polo? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends?
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?